Build Your Business listeners. This is Matt Reynolds, your host for the podcast, and you are listening to what we are calling the legacy episodes. And really, these are the pre-episodes that really led to this podcast, the Build Your Business podcast. This is really my life's work and my brother's life's work in building your business. And so they were originally published in the Barbell Logic podcast as part of the Principles or Coaching Success series, but really touch on similar topics to the Build Your Business podcast: how to improve your productivity, how to set and accomplish your goals, deprioritize urgent tasks, to focus on what is most important to you, and most importantly, to become a better person and leader and business owner overall. I'm proud to bring you these podcasts. Again, many years of life's work, several years of podcasts, and several decades of business ownership. Hope you enjoy them and learn from them. You're listening to Barbell Logic,
the podcast where we talk about what it means to experience strength
and how you can use simple, hard, and effective strategies in training and nutrition to improve your life.
It starts with meeting you where you are right now and finding lasting solutions.
Welcome to the show. You're listening to the Barbell Logic podcast, Coaching Success series. I'm your host, Matt Reynolds. I'm excited you're here. Happy Friday. First off, I am recording this down at my cabin. My MacBook Pro, the display went out completely 24 hours ago, and it was going to be $1,000 to fix the display. And so I'm actually recording this on my daughter's MacBook Air. And so the audio probably won't be as good as it normally is, but Steven, our amazing podcast producer, will make it sound as good as we possibly can. Hopefully I can still bring you a lot of value out of this episode. And so I want to dive right in today about creating a standard of service for online coaching. So we've talked a lot about, for you coaches that are coaching in person and are trying to or interested in a hybrid model where you add online coaching to the services that you offer. There's a thing that I'm seeing in coaches like this, and it looks like this. For your in-person coach that focuses on high quality customer service, high touch points, and they're a great coach. So let's assume that those of you that are listening are all of those things. You show up on time to the gym, you dress the part, you look the part, you train, the gym is clean, you are excited when your clients come in, even if you're not super excited. And, even on days that you're having off days, you have the program ready for them. You know what they're going to do that day with in-person coaching. You start them warming up, you ask them how their day or week has been. You make some small talk, you build some relationship and some trust. All of those things, I have found that most of the coaches that are trying to transition into online coaching do that very well in person. Now, if that's not you, go back and listen to the customer service episodes, because there is an opportunity right now in a post-COVID world. This is 2023, fall of 2023, where customer service has just dropped through the floor. And it's terrible across the board in the service industry. And so certainly if you're an in-person coach and you're not distinguishing yourself as different because not only of your incredible ability as an expert coach, but also from a customer service standpoint, then you are dropping the ball, right? However, there are a lot of boutique type gyms that have excellent customer service. Those are still everywhere. You really have sort of three types of gyms right now in the United States. You have the boutique gym that is high priced, it has incredible customer service. You get treated, like a king or a queen or a princess or whatever, but the training is not very effective. And then you have the other end of the spectrum, which is sort of the Westside Barbell model or the CrossFit model, which is the gym is generally in an industrial building. It's maybe not that clean. The customer service is not over the top. As a matter of fact, it's probably lacking. But the training style tends to be very effective, whether that's powerlifting or CrossFit or whatever. And I've talked many times about my potential arguments or issues with both of those ends of the training spectrum. And then you have the big box Globo gyms. And I've told this story before that we tend to go to those as a leadership team or mission control team when we travel for business. We'll go to like a Lifetime Fitness and either get a free day pass or pay for the day pass. And these are like Taj Mahal type gyms. And the customer service is excellent. And once you make it known that you're not from that town and you're just traveling on business, they tend to let you just have access to the gym and leave you alone. But in general, the customer service is pretty dang good. And of course, they have no oversight for the type of training that you're doing. And so maybe certainly for us, we go in and do effective training, but the average person probably doesn't. And so in-person coaching, you want to make sure that you have a tremendous standard of customer service and an effective method of coaching and training your clients to help move them towards their goal. Online coaching is no different. And yet what I'm seeing out of a lot of coaches is that their in-person service level, their consistency in service far outweighs their standard of service for online coaching. And online coaching, by the way, is growing. It's 36% compounded annual growth rate. That's one of the fastest growing industries in the world right now. It's growing incredibly. So 36% per year, and it compounds. So it's 36% this year and then 36% on top of that 36% next year, and so on and so forth. And the thing that we see in online coaching is a massive reduction in service because, again, most coaches are selling programs. They're selling templates. There is no customer service. There is no back and forth between the client and the coach. There is no technique coaching. There are no touch points with your clients. And so what I wanted to talk about today is to plead with you to set yourself apart in the online community to create a standard of service that wows your customers, wows your clients on a daily basis, that is extremely consistent. So there's two parts to this. One is if you have inconsistent service, that's actually worse than bad service. So if I go to a restaurant and the food is good, but the service is consistently bad, I still know what I'm getting. But if I go to a restaurant and one time the service is great and I have an incredible wait staff, and the next time it sucks, and the next time I go back, it's good, and then it sucks, and then it sucks again, and then it's good 2 times in a row. Like, that's actually more frustrating to me because I know what great service looks like in that restaurant, and I can compare it to the crappy service that I'm receiving today. And for online coaching, it's exactly the same. We have to have a standard of very high touch, high end customer service. And so if you've moved into the online space or you're considering the online space, I would plead with you to create, this is probably the first system that you would actually write and create in the online coaching industry of how to provide outstanding service to your clients. And so again, that probably looks like making sure they have programming well in advance, making sure they know where their programming is going, reviewing all of their videos within 24 hours. We have a 24-hour feedback clock at Barbell Logic Online Coaching. We do feedback via screen recording. So we're talking to our clients. We can put ourselves picture in picture so you can actually see your coach's face, hear your coach's voice. I think that typed feedback, now, I don't think that typed feedback is entirely negative, but it's far less personal. And so some of our best coaches actually do screen recording feedback where they talk to their clients and then they type bullet points of the major sort of coaching cues that they want their clients to take into the next session so that the next time they squat, they know exactly what they're supposed to do. And so The key here is, as I have experienced other online coaches in the industry, it's just sort of done haphazardly. The programming might be fine. It's more of a copy and paste job. The feedback is occasional. The feedback, if you have, 5 or 6 exercises, maybe 4 exercises per workout, maybe there's feedback on 2 of those exercises as opposed to all of them. And so what you can do in the industry to really differentiate yourself and set yourself apart is to provide excellent customer service. And I know we've already had a podcast on excellent customer service, but it was really focused on kind of the 30,000 foot view of what we've seen in the service industry post-COVID. It applied very much to in-person coaches. And again, what I'm seeing is that in-person coaches often have excellent customer service. They show up on time. Again, they make sure they welcome their clients when they come in the door. They look the part, they dress the part, all of those things. Those things don't apply to online coaching. I don't have to look the part. I don't have to dress the part. I mean, I certainly wouldn't be a big fat slob while you're doing online coaching. But at the same time, you have to recognize what are the pieces of standard of service. My clients expect to hear from me within 24 hours of all of their workouts. They expect me to talk to them like a human, like I'm talking to you right now. Like really, while it's asynchronous coaching, while they lift when they want, where they want, with the equipment they have, and I get to give them feedback, same thing, again, down at my cabin right now, and I'm able to do that. I broke down videos this morning. I haven't been able to do this for the last several years at the cabin. I got Starlink in finally and fast internet. And so I can give feedback down at the cabin, not at my house. I can do it in Mexico. I can do it in, the UK. It doesn't matter where I'm at. I can give that feedback. I'm still speaking to my clients almost as if it's a synchronous coaching session. Like I'm literally giving them tips from rep 2 to rep 3 and rep 3 to rep 4, but they've already completed the set. But I'm talking to them as if that is the case and continue to give them feedback, not just on every lift, but on every rep of every lift of the videos they upload. And on the exercises that they don't upload videos, I give them some basic feedback, usually via screen recording. And I ask them, how hard was this? Give me some RPE feedback. Like, are the Bulgarian split squats getting too easy with just body weight? Do we need to add some weight? Those sorts of things. And so making sure that the client has excellent programming that fits their goals, making sure you explain to them why the programming is moving in the direction that it is to, again, reiterate, helping them meet the goals that they communicated back to you, making sure that you touch on, and this is what TKC does so well, any PRs or significant improvements, recent improvements on specific lifts, and often every lift we talk through, and then actual technique feedback that you give them on the breakdown. And then on top of that, I make sure that I'm always trying to touch on the relationship issue and build the relationship and build the trust. And so, I have clients, I'm asking them about their family or their job or church or things that they've communicated to me that are stressful in their life. And I ask them how that's going, because that helps them understand that I actually care, that I have benevolence, and it's authentic. I do care. I do want to hear from those clients about how their life is going. If they've got a newborn and they're not sleeping well, I ask them how their sleep is. I ask them how the baby's doing. How's mama? How, these are the things that can set you apart in the online coaching world. And I just don't think it's thought about very much. And so while I think that there's actually a significant amount of competition for high-end customer service for in-person coaching in these boutique type gyms, the thing that you can do in your gym in person is match that level of customer service and also give your client an extremely effective and efficient sort of workout or program that moves them towards the goal. And again, in most of these boutique gyms, they got great customer service, but they're not really accomplishing anything. The person looks the same 2 years later, as they did on day one. In online coaching, there's certainly a lot of good programming out there. There's bad programming too, but there's a lot of coaches that sell solid programming. So how do you delineate yourself? Well, you also provide good programming, excellent programming, but you give excellent feedback on a timely scale, on a standard of customer service, so that every 24 hours, your clients know they're going to hear from Coach. They're going to hear your voice. By the way, we've found that those screen recording videos are perfect at about 3 minutes. Your clients don't want to hear 7-minute videos every single day. And 40 seconds feels rushed. So somewhere in that 2 to 5 minute ballpark, 3 minutes sort of in the middle, is a great spot for them, where you touch on the major high points of the technique. You talk to them for a few seconds about the programming and where it's going, and you connect with them on a relationship basis. And that helps set the standard for online coaching, and then do that every single day forever. Because if you don't, and you do that one time, and then you don't do it the next time, or you do it 2 or 3 workouts in a row, and then you miss one, you actually lose trust. You lose integrity. And as I've talked about on previous podcasts, it's very hard to build that integrity and trust, but it's very easy to lose it. And so a consistency in a standard of outstanding online coaching service is key in the online coaching world. So if you're online coaching, even if you're not using TKC, and again, TKC is a fantastic software because it's all of these sort of standards are built in, the automated metric tracking, the 24-hour feedback clock. It's very easy to slide someone's workout forward a day. Hey, coach, today got crazy on Tuesday. Can you slide my workout to Wednesday? Absolutely happy to do it. You can do all of those things. That's all built into the software. But even if you're not using our software and you're online coaching with another third-party software, or you're even using like a Google Sheets or something like that, you still have an opportunity to set yourself apart from a customer service standpoint in the online coaching world. And you've probably thought about that from in-person coaching standpoint. Like, how do I distinguish myself as different, as better, as an expert in the field? How do I provide great customer service? All of those things. You have to think about those same things in the online coaching world as well. So the lesson for today is to write a system to standardize your online coaching system of customer service specifically. You already know probably how you're going to program your clients. Make sure you communicate that to them. Give them great technique feedback within 24 hours. Make sure they know where the programming is going, and then build the relationship, build some trust. And you can do all of that in just a few minutes every day in your breakdown videos. And so that's what has set us apart at Barbell Logic Online Coaching, and what we're trying to teach our TKC licensees, the coaches that are licensing that software, to provide that same level of feedback and customer service that we do on a daily basis at Barbell Logic. So there you go. Create a standardized system of customer service for your online coaching clients. This has been another episode of the Barbell Logic podcast, Coaching Success. As I always say, we would absolutely love a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever you listen to the podcast. If you have friends in the industry, share the podcast with them. They don't even have to be in the fitness industry. There's a lot of value here on these Friday episodes for any business owner that's out there. And so thank you so much for listening. Thank you for giving me your time on a Friday, and I'll see you next week.